Welcome to Tech This Way.
Assalamualaikum, Cik Hisham.
Waalaikumsalam, Cik Azlan.
Apa khabar kita hari ni? Kau duduk kat rumah?
Oh ya, yeah. Alhamdulillah first day ni on the PKP ni. How about you?
Macam tu lah. I've been at home for rasa macam dah bertahun-tahun dah rasanya. Anyway, thanks for joining me on Tech This Way.
It's a pleasure to be here.
Yeah, so it should be just a simple conversation for me to find out more about how you started out, how's the company, what does the company do, why you are doing it, and all that lah.
I must let you know that this is my first time being interviewed by somebody. So I've been in a lot of interviews, work interviews before lah, but so
you are married, right?
I'm married, yes, with one child and then expecting another one. Maybe
so your father-in-law would have interviewed you already lah.
That was a long time ago lah, more than 20 years ago.
Yeah, no worries. So normally I like to start with just for you to share your own background lah. You know, where you're from, what did you do in school, and then after that, how was your journey from the beginning?
Okay, cool. So actually I'm from Lengkung, Perak. That's my hometown. And then I have been my tertiary education is in University Pertanian Malaysia. I graduated in 1997 in Bachelor Computer Science. So I always say to people that I'm from University Pertanian. I'm not from University Putra lah, because that's where, you know, in my school that's where it's written. So and then I started my work in at Sapura Advanced System lah. That's my first company. And it's the longest company that I work at, which is about 5 years. I came out for 1 year, and then I came back for 1 year plus.
In Sapura?
And since then, yeah, Sapura.
What were you doing in Sapura?
I was a software engineer. I started as a software engineer, and when I left, I was a software architect. And then before I started my own company, I've worked with about 18 companies. So I think I've not met somebody who else worked more than me lah. You know?
After Sapura lah, I mean.
Including Sapura lah,
No, but I mean you've worked in 18 companies.
So this minus is Sapura is 17 lah.
17 lah after Sapura. Wow. Okay.
And then the last company that I work with is Dagang Net Technologies, which is under DNEX. So I'm staying in Shah Alam. I think that's it lah on the personal
side. So this 17, so you worked with Sapura for 5 years, and then you worked for the 17 companies. It was over how many years?
20 years, I think.
So almost about a year each lah. 1 year each.
Not really lah. Sometime you know. I remember that there was one time, you know, I went to 3 interviews and I got 3 of them. So you know, like in the early 2000, you know, the IT was booming, right? So it was good for us lah. So I got 3 offers, and then I accepted one for a Singaporean company, but then I chose not to go, and then I joined another company. But when I joined the company, it seems that the company was problematic. You know, they cannot even pay the EPF. So after I got my first paycheck, you know, I just left. So let's say that in about 1 month, I joined 3 companies. And then there was another.
That's a record.
I joined DHL. You know, DHL, I think they're still a good paymaster, you know.
In Cyberjaya.
Cyberjaya, yeah. But I had a lousy boss lah. So I just joined there for about 3 weeks before I left. So but nowadays it's very difficult lah. You know, when I was working in Daganet, I tried to apply for many companies. You know, I worked in Daganet for about 3 years. But it was difficult to secure any jobs. And then I've been before, even before I've had some ideas to start my own company lah. So when I had the opportunity, so I just didn't think much. I just left. I gave about 24 hours notice to my boss.
So what was that opportunity? So what happened?
So actually in 2015, end of 2015, so one of the company they got a project with government, and then they didn't have any software arm. So it turns out that one of the actor lah in the company, important critical actor in that company, is my friend. So he offered me this opportunity lah. So it was not to be missed lah for me.
Oh,
I didn't think.
not to work for that company, but to be part of the ownership.
Yes, yeah. No. They want to outsource to me lah.
Oh,
So
I see.
at end of my employment, I already registered one company lah. So I was planning also to leave, and you know, I was talking to people as if I'm working for my own company lah. You know, so the opportunity finally arrived. We secured quite a big project lah back then.
So this was in 2015 lah, your
End
first
of 2015, yes.
2015, okay.
Yep.
So how long was that project for?
That project, it was the first time. So it lasted 1.5 years. It's supposed to be 1 year, but I mean, you know, I was doing technical lah. All my employment, I was doing very heavy technical. So when you start your own company, it's a whole new game, you know. And then you have to learn the management side, project management. How do you monitor the programmers? How do you communicate with customers? You know, it's a different game lah than it was used to be when I was working. So we're supposed to, and then we had a delay for about 6 months, and we have been penalized by our client actually.
So from the beginning, when you started it, then what about the company itself, this new company? It was just you. Then did you have to hire lots of developers suddenly and all that?
Okay. Because I was working in a lot of companies, I recognize few talents who some of them I invited them to join me as a partners. So in Rapid Develop we have 3 partners, and then people who I know that can deliver. So I just make an offer to them. First, when we started, we have about 7 people. So everyone was technical, even including myself. I was also doing the design, the customer communications, and doing the coding, testing, everything. And then also the main contractor who awarded this project, also they put in some people in that project. So in total, it's about maybe around 10% executing that project.
Okay. So at that point, Rapid Development had this one project lah for about a year and a half. Or did you start looking for other projects also in the middle?
Yes, at the same time also I also doing like okay, in that project I was doing I mean I was heavy involving in that project, but also I was doing the sales. So I had to go around, calling all my old customers, all my old friends, and the main contractor, they also helped us to secure another project with Felda that was doing consultation, and of course there's some other small project we also did in the first year.
Okay. So how did the company move on from there?
Actually, my long-term plan is to do product development, where we my vision. We don't want to depends on projects, especially from government, because it's I mean, it's very tough. The competition is very tough. A lot of companies, they are, their existence is just to pursue for government projects. So my vision is that we only try to get projects so that we can finance ourselves to develop products. So there's some projects that later were secured, and by 2000, I think 2017, when my team has time, so we started on the development of the billing product that I've thought about this like maybe 3 years before I went to business. So it was my long-term goal already lah, even before I started this company.
What was
And I
the
was
specific product that you were thinking about?
the billing product is our product is Monthley, called Monthley. Actually, before starting this company, I've worked with a few projects that requires me to do financial products, financial modules, the billings, the accountings, So from there, I was thinking that maybe there's an opportunity, something that we can offer to small and medium enterprise, SMEs, NGOs, people that do not have a lot of money to run a big billing system, So when I was working with one project in 2000, I think 2010, I was working with a project that deals with mass state accounts. It handles about 500,000 accounts under one state. So the idea is there, how we could merge all these billing requirements into one platform. So and then over the years, we started to enhance. Like for example, since we have a billing, we issue billing to customers. Why not we venture into online payment? So by I think 2 years ago, we last time we were depending on bill please. Our customer were paying the bills through bill please, but last 2 years we have our own billing payment system gone live, and on the from our more than 40 customers now, only one still on bill please.
So help me understand your product for the types of customers that is relevant to you. So let's say I have a company. Let's say I sell bread from the house. Is that the kind of small type of companies, or what kind of companies is the size that's relevant to use your system? Or is
No,
it companies
that's not because it's a billing, but it's a recurring billing. We focus on recurring billing customers. For example, our customers are mostly JMBs, joint management boards, who manage the buildings, where the tenants need to pay maintenance fee, sinking fund, things like that every month. And there are private schools, and then clubs, tuition centers. So all of these people, they also this organization, they have problems in sometimes they don't do the billing properly lah. They don't have people to handle that. They don't have clerks, billing clerks. And sometimes, if you go to the private schools, kindergartens, the teachers are doing the billing themselves. So what we do is we try to automate the billing process for them. You set up, your accounts, your products, and then you associate your accounts to their products, and then there's some customization that you do. You tell, okay, I want to generate every month or every quarter or a half month or a year. you can do a lot of combinations, and from there we just that's our system will take care of it lah. By end of the month you'll receive a report saying, okay, monthly have generated say 500 accounts for you, totaling maybe 100,000 ringgit. And then you just sit down and because our billing system will blast the email lah to your customers. And then you just sit down again and then doing your core jobs, and then just once in a while you get email, okay, somebody from this account has paid you like 100 ringgits, so that's what you do lah. We try to help them to this company, even they're small, billing is a crucial part of their business lah. Like for example, that JMBs, they're not even a business entity. But if they don't collect properly, then how can they run maintenance for the buildings? Things will get affected. So that is the vision that we have.
Okay, so as you're saying, so let's take the example of the kindergarten lah. So I'm running a kindergarten. I have, I don't know, 500 parents. Okay lah, that sounds too many. Maybe 100.
Yes.
Maybe 100 kids lah at any one time.
Okay.
What you're saying is I will put in the list of my 100 parents in the system. Each one of them has their email address, and each one of them have their own fees lah, right? Depending on how and all that. And then the system will, the product, so they will blast it to the parents. Then from the parent side, they will receive the email. So you were saying that before your own payment system, then there will be like a link in there for them to pay lah through bill please lah. So for let's say I am the kindergarten and I only have my one account lah that I use, right? So when the email is blasted to the parent will see, okay, I need to pay this kindergarten 100 ringgit. How is the payment done before and after your solution?
Before sometimes it's just a matter of trust, Sometimes you have an Excel sheet, sometimes you have a written down list, So these people has paid, how much and how much. So sometimes some organization they make use of some online payment like Senang Pay, Bill Please, But that is not a billing system. There's just you just issue invoice to them, and they don't keep track of like your areas, how much they haven't paid, their dues.
Even the payment itself, sometimes you just take a screenshot and then mail it back, right? To say, oh, I've transferred using MD or something like that, right?
Yes, through WhatsApp lah, And then sometimes you forgot to issue the receipt. And so it's an excuse, if you say to somebody, okay, usually you haven't paid for 2 months, so they can counter back to you lah, I have paid but you have not issued me any receipts. So we have presented to a few organizations, so there's a lot of story that we capture during that. For example, the customers, the relationship with customers becomes sour, because of the billing. When people start, for example, one customer, they said one of their customers, they put the money inside their children's bag, and then that money never reach the school. I don't know, maybe many things could happen, and the money could was lost, or the teacher didn't record it down. So, and then who's to blame? So and then eventually, the kid was enrolled out, in another school, they just stop sending the kids there. So it does affect the business also.
So now as a parent, in the same example, what do I do now that I've received this email? What is the process now with the solution?
We offer two solutions for the customers, for your customers. We call it service providers. You as a customer, we call you service provider. You are the one who manage the kindergarten, and your customers is can access the bill. One is by email, so we blast the email, and then we have mobile apps. So the bills also push notification to your mobile app. There's two things. So once you get the email, you actually we don't as in other online payment, we don't send you the bills or invoice. We send you the statement because we have your records of your areas, from the old days. So what the parents do, they will just click on the link, and then we will route them to our online gateway, and then they do the payments there. So actually we charge some amount to the parents.
Oh, so the payment is to not to the service provider, but to the service provider's customers.
Sorry.
So the transaction fee is that charging to the service provider or the service provider's customers?
For service provider, we charge monthly subscriptions, but for the customer who make online payment, we charge online payment charges. But that is only optional because in monthly we also offered manual payment, meaning there's a counter service where the service provider can record payments if the payment is done manually.
So for the situation where the parents still wants to give cash, they just turn up at the kindergarten. So that is still be done.
Yeah, that is still supported for now. But most of our customers, not most gradually most of our customers can see the benefits because they, there's no losses in revenue, and it is, I mean, because it's very transparent. For every payment done online, people who done online payment, the service provider will get notifications. So meaning it's very efficient, and some of the organization that are our customers, they have decided to cancel the online payment altogether. Okay. So I think one case that we follow, I didn't know about Benny Bunch, how they are doing it last time, but I just learned about it after we have started our journey on this product. So actually they are doing the same they are the same the same model. So they have not received, like Benny Bench, they have about 70 branches. I think it's about 70 branches last time I checked, and they are actually partnering with Bill Please. Actually, Bill Please was developed to support Benny Bunch first time. So after some time, they just they just ask the parent all to do all the online payment and deny any manual payment after some time. So for all the franchise, I mean the payment will go to the HQ first, and that will be disbursed down to the branches So that's what we are proposing to our customers.
So speaking of customers, what type of customers do you have right now? What's the majority, or is like a trend, or is it like pretty much everybody who needs to receive payment monthly?
Most of our customers JMPs, those who runs like flats or low cost apartments. So because the condos really they have a more expensive and more elaborate systems, and private schools, religious schools, and then kindergartens. There are few tuition centers, recreational clubs, things like that.
So if you go back to your company. So when you first started it, you were doing the project, right? There's that one big project that you had. So how
Mhm.
did you then, whilst you have that project, how did you then create a team to start developing this billing system and then started marketing it? How did that go?
Actually, it's quite a struggle. So we took about, I think we took about 6 months to finish that product lah.
Mm.
But the good thing is that I was doing the design, and the design, it was all in my head. So from the design part, for me, in most of the software projects that I did, one thing that I really emphasize is on the design. It will determine either your project will be smooth or problematics or destined for doom lah.
When you say
So
design, what do you mean? It's a very general term. What do you mean design?
design, because design is how do you design the software in terms of what are features that you offer to customers up until the technical parts, what components that how do you componentize the component, the software, what are the technology that you're going to use for your systems, how do you design the data structures, things like that lah.
Mm.
So that's what I mean by design.
What about design from the customer standpoint? I mean, did you have a very specific type of customer in mind already when you started this?
We have in general.
Mm.
Yeah, so we didn't do like, okay, there are some good points that people are telling us. They say, okay, you have to focus to certain customers lah. But that's not actually, that's not the spirit of Monthly. That's what we want to achieve with Monthly, is that it's going to be a billing portal lah. So our vision is that maybe in 5 years or 10 years, when you want to check your billing, you go to Monthly and you'll see all kind of billing consolidated into one platform.
Mm.
So if I'm sending my kids to a kindergarten, and then I join say self-defense club, or and then I live in one apartment that uses Monthly. So when I log in into my mobile Monthly application, I will see all the bills,
Mm.
and I can settle all the bills in one platform lah. And we want to go as far as, for example, we can integrate with, say, telecom bills, or maybe insurance bills. Who knows, right?
Mm.
So
Mm.
maybe just one day, you want to pay the insurance, maybe you can go to Monthly, and then there you see the insurance bills there, how much you need to pay.
Mm.
So that's the kind of mentality that we had when we design Monthly.
Ah, okay.
So we're still working towards that goal
Mm.
now.
But I guess realistically, it'll be very difficult for you to take over every service provider's billing systems lah. So I assume then you'll become, as you say, a more an open platform for other billing systems to ride as well lah.
Yeah, but for the big corporates, we know that we are aware that they already have more expensive billing systems. But one thing that they have is that when you think about it, people don't want to. I want to pay say my utility bills, then I have to open TMB apps. I want to pay a telecom bill, or Maxis bill, or insurance bill. So do I need to install like 5 different billing apps in my phone? I don't
Yes
think
lah.
so.
Yes, today.
Yesterday.
Mm.
So one day maybe maybe we can open our platform so that the bill, we can integrate. People will send bills to us, and then we'll just we do not generate the bill themselves. We do not know about the accounts. They just send us the bill so that people can utilize our platform, to collect, or to settle the payment in one platform.
So if you think about it from that's looking at it from the service provider's customer standpoint, lah, right? That I, as an individual, all my monthly bills can be seen in one place, right? Monthly, whether it's for
Yes.
different services, lah, right? It's all there. So for me,
Yes.
as a end user customer, it makes obvious sense, lah, right? It makes good sense.
Yep.
But how do you
Yep.
convince the service providers themselves to partner with monthly? What's in it for them, lah? Because I'm sure for them, they want to retain that relationship with the customers too, right? So if they allow my interaction, me as a customer, my interaction now is not with that company anymore. Now it's through monthly. How do you convince them that okay, it's beneficial for them also?
I think one thing is that I mean they can widen the channel, payment channels. That's one thing, because I've last time I also subscribed to health insurance from one insurance company, but it's still the way they are doing it is through credit cards. So they enforce me to make a deduction through credit card. That's one thing, but still it's not transparent to me. I still cannot check how much I've paid. If there's this problem with my credit card, I it's not so straightforward to get the statements. So I think there's still value in it. You actually you can be more transparent, because even though we provide the platform, most customers, they're still interacting with the service providers, not us. So we're just coming in when there's technical issues. That's it. In terms of communication, we'll provide the numbers, the emails that they can contact, but it's not us. It's not our email. It's not our phone numbers. It's the service providers. So they are not losing interaction with the customers. And later, actually, we have planned. For example, a lot of our customers are asking for us to include issue tracking. Like if they want to make complaints or reports, they say, okay, for example, in JMPs, since we are collecting the bills for the JMPs, so the JMP have one requirement. They only want to register report from those who pay. So in Selangor, 17, I was told that 70% of people live in high rise.
70.
And 70.
Wow.
70. Yeah. And then in most JMPs, the collection was very bad, I mean, it's around, like, if you can get 50% people to pay for maintenance, then it's already good. It's already considered good. So one of the incentives that the JMPs want to introduce is that why not, if people want to complain, we provide, in monthly we will have a plugin, so that if you're a client to the JMP, you can install, for example, the reporting module, so you can report. But in order for you to report, you must, your account must be clear. You don't have any areas. So that is something that we're going to do later. So
it's
we are going
adding
to
more. So it's adding more and more value-added services to the service providers.
Yes. Yep. That is what we call premium modules. So we're going to charge a fraction of the price. You have this subscription, and you can choose whatever premium modules that you want to include in your subscription.
So right now, as a company, do you still do other projects compared to monthly, or is monthly now your focus, or do you have a suite of products that you are working on?
We're still, because the monthly is we hope that one day that monthly will be the only project that we're working on. But now, since we still need money to pay our salaries, we're still working with projects. So right now we're also doing development for few clients.
I see. So that is still paying the bills lah. And then, but you're
Yes.
hoping, but monthly is
Yeah.
already revenue generating for you, obviously.
No, actually not.
Oh.
Yeah. I mean revenue, yes, very minimal. So you
But
cannot
not
even
profitable yet lah. If as a standalone.
yes. Yes, true.
So what are you? How are you working on to push the product?
Of course, to push the product, we need fund, actually, right? To do the marketing, the sales, we need to hire a dedicated team. Because now, even if there's issue coming in, we have to assign engineers to work on it. So that engineer might be working on some other client projects. So right now, we do not have any dedicated teams for Monthley. Because financially, we will be quite okay in about maybe 2 or 3 months. I'm looking at to set up dedicated monthly teams to do. To look at it in terms of sales, support, marketing, and we're also planning to engage with marketing agencies. We have tried to engage with few in the past, but I think because it's not suitable, it doesn't take us anywhere. So you need to find the right partner also on this.
So the product itself, if you go to the market now, who are your competitors?
Okay, competitors. One of our competitors that recently became a unicorn is ChargeBee. I'm not sure if you have heard that. It's an Indian company, but now I think they are based in US. So our product is closely resemble them lah, the ChargeBee product because people mistaken us for online payment or online gateway. Payment gateway, which we are not actually. Because we have accounting capability lah inside Monthley. We keep track of your debit credits, things like that. So in Malaysia, I think we have like I forgot a few, like of course the normal is like Billings, which is doing only the online payment, Senang Pay, and then Monthley. There's one also good product which is focusing on the kindergarten. I think the name is SKY, System Kutipan Yuran. But it doesn't have online payment. So when collecting the payment, I think it will either you have to register for your own FPX account from the banks, or you need to integrate with like Billings or Senang Pay.
Whereas your solution is end to end, and also it's not just for kindergartens, right? It's for any type of service providers.
Yes.
So what about from a geography standpoint? So right now, where are most of your customers for Monthley?
Most of the customers is in KL, but we have few customers in outside in Kelantan. We have actually we last year we secured one of the government agency in Kelantan. They're using Monthley for collecting rentals for their premises. For example, like Pasar Siti Khalijah, actually now Monthley is a platform for collecting the rental from the businesses from there. And I think there's some few others in Kelantan. We have like 2 other independent customers, not government. So mostly in KL and Negeri Sembilan. Yeah.
So so when did you actually start this monthly product itself?
3 years ago in 2018, we launched in 2018 with two pilot customers lah. One is JMP, one is kindergarten. Unfortunately, the kindergarten, after some time they withdraw. It's not because of the technical lah. I think there's some issues with their organizations. That's why they withdraw. And the other is still with us today lah. So after that, because the problem with us is that we don't focus on marketing. We have one of my partners is very diligent, in going to one customer to present, but we have not really looked into online marketing, digital marketing. Like I said, we have engaged with few marketing agencies, but it didn't really take off. So we have not found a better way how to market our products.
So now with the COVID for the last 1 year, 1.5 years, how has that impacted your service providers and therefore your business?
Because of the COVID, actually the market, we don't have new subscribers lah, because we don't do, our marketing effort is less. But we see the trend, the payment, online payment is increasing. That's what we see. So from month to month, there's some increase with the existing customers. I'm talking about the existing customers. So right now we're handling about 10,000 accounts from about 40 customers, and we can see that there is some increase. So we are thinking about doing some promotions it's important market for us to promote online payment. So we are planning to spend some in 2 months time lah. We're planning to spend some budget to promote a more online payment.
Yeah, so sounds like the challenge right now is just you've got the platform, you've got a set of proven customers already. So now it's just a question of how to market it lah.
I think so. Yes, because since the 3 years, our system has been stabilizing. There are less issues. Even now it's last time there's a lot of bugs. Of course, it's normal with any systems, but now the issue become less. We can focus, actually, because the issue is less. Most of my team, they're focused on other projects. So now it's just the questions of marketing, and then to like you said, to add value to the current system.
So assuming that everything is stable and you've got your marketing guys in terms of expansion of the market, beyond just Klang Valley, obviously you want to cover Malaysia. Do you have any regional plans at all for the platform?
Yeah, we want to go, actually we want to go global. We want to go first into Brunei. Last time we have tried to work with one partner in Brunei, but things are quite slow over there. And then we also plan to go to Singapore and Indonesia.
Which means, I guess, from a payment standpoint, you need to partner with the payment providers out there for the currencies and all that, right?
Yes. But the thing is that initially we don't have to. I mean, we can step our feet inside first because we don't really rely on online payment. Like I said, we provide manual payment capabilities. So the first thing is that you want to focus just on the billing part. And later, when you stabilize, you integrate with payment solutions locally.
So as a service provider, what is the effort to get on board the monthly platform?
Actually, it's quite easy. Okay, normally our sales flow is that we going to present to you a few times if you need online, or we can go to your office, and then if you agree, then we help you to get on board. I mean, if you have many customers, right? Like for example, if you have 300 or 400, then we will help you to key in to load your data into the system. Okay, so I think we also charges I mean we charge some fraction amount to do that. And then if you have like previous data, meaning you want to do data migration, either from your old system, or you have like some old receipts you want to load into the system so that you can do historical checkings, then it's also possible. And I think we give you 1 or 2 sessions of training, and then you're good to go.
Okay, so that means from signing up, I don't know, within a week, you should be up and running already.
Yes, it's possible, even less than that.
Okay.
It's just that, we try to be as simple as possible. Like some of the client, they request us like complicated features. So, in order for you to have that features, the learning curve for operating the product will be steeper, right? So that's why we always think, how to make everything as simple as possible. It's something like a mobile app. You don't have training, you just use it lah. So I think for now I mean the easiness of our system, and I think it's we achieve our goals. So there's not much. I mean, the questions, the queries, is less.
From a branding standpoint, do you get requests from the service providers that when you send out these emails or the apps to their customers, they want their branding there? Or is that something that you do anyway?
We do provide the logos, in the statements, in the invoice or receipts, they can customize their own logo. But for now, customizations is very minimal. In terms of what they can customize the sentence, the words that is being emailed to the clients, or whatever goes into the receipts, the statements is quite minimal. But later we plan to improve that.
Okay lah, last few questions. I guess coming back to your own journey. So you started with Sapura, was it, for about 5 years?
Yes.
And then all these different jobs. And now you've been with Rapid Development for almost the longest lah. What is it? 5-6 years already now?
5 years. Yeah, 5 years.
Kan? So it's almost as long as your Sapura one lah. So
yeah.
sounds like you are going to stick to this for a few more years.
I think so lah. We were. I mean, for the past few years, like 2 years ago, it was very struggling for me and my partners and my team. But we see the light lah, actually, by even though it's with the pandemic, things like this, actually since last year, there was some light, and I think we are doing some projects now, which will secure us like for another 2 years. So in the meantime, we'll try to strengthening up our products offerings. So I think it's gonna be a long journey. Of course, for myself, I was telling my partners, let's not stop here, We want to inherit this to our children later. So that is our planning, No, I do not come from a business background, In my family, I think I'm only the first one who is brave enough to venture into business. So it was a very uh, struggling journey, I would say. But I've seen worse, for me, I think Allah has, protected me, in some way. I've heard people worse doing business, but for me, um, still okay, still I can tolerate, I can sustain. And my wife has already been very supporting in this journey. So I think, I think this, I want this one to last, until my son can take over my business. So my son is already, I think he has some inclines towards software engineering.
Oh, okay.
He
Like the
loves
father.
programming. I hope so, This is now doing the programming in Roblox, in Minecraft. So I hope he'll be able to contribute later, maybe in few years time.
So with all the challenges you've gone through, what would you say to yourself if you go back in time 5-6 years ago, before you left your last job, right? What would you have given advice to yourself?
Okay. There's not much regrets. There's some regrets. When I think about it, maybe that's something that I do, or maybe that's something I didn't do when I first started. But I think the most, if I can go back and then advise to myself, is just like it's about people, So this company is not about because I'm from a technical background, and most of my teams are from technical background, and we are like more inclined toward technical superiority, We're giving all the best, the playing with all the bleeding edges in technology, but actually at the end of the day is what customer benefit from you, and so you want to give the best to customer. The customer do not care, what kind of technology that's embedded inside your application or systems. But of course, like for us, we always focus on the Java platform. Like we don't do other like .NET or PHP. Uh, we decline if people ask us to do other than Java, because we are very expert. My team is quite expert in Java platform. But the customer, they don't care. They don't care what kind of technology they use, as long as they have the best services lah. So that's one thing. And then is that how you develop the people lah. When you're starting up a startup, your team is the most important. Those who can support you through the journey lah. So I have quite a great team actually. But of course, to manage them, and keeping them in this company, some of them, they're still here, even though we have some really rough time, it's not just about the money lah. If sometimes even I cannot pay their salaries, they're struggling sometimes until the end. So if they cannot bear anymore, then they'll leave. But most of them are still with me lah. They're still supporting me, even they are outside of Rapid Develop. So it's how I develop. It's how I need to. It's not about focusing on giving the best technology. to our customers. It's about giving a solution and how do I develop people so that they can serve the purpose of this company. So I think that's the two things that I want to educate myself. If I'm starting up another business entity, then that will be something that I'll need to think a lot.
Think of the customers first, and then run the company almost like a family, almost.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying to my team. Our company is like company kawan-kawan. Company kawan-kawan. But there are some disadvantage when you say that. People take it lightly. How do you discipline your teams? Because we people like me, my partners, we are struggling to meet our monthly finance so that we can pay salaries. But some people, it's not transparent to them, so they're taking it lightly. So and then how do you discipline in a way that because sometimes you're not paying salaries, you cannot pay salaries, and you how you still need to appreciate them, okay? And then you still need their contribution. So you have to balance how you treat your team members. But I hope that if this journey is proved to be successful, then I want to share with my team who have been sacrificing a lot. So hopefully it's going to be a successful journey for us.
Yeah. So inshallah, hopefully, hopefully if we catch up
Inshallah.
again end of the year, early next year, we'll see how the progress has been with you guys.
Inshallah.
Okay, Hisham, it's almost an hour already. So
Okay, thank you.
thank you very much for making your time. And
I appreciate this. Like I say, this is an experience for me. I think I'm very nervous to do this. I almost turned this down.
but I say not so bad, is it?
Yeah, I hope later when next time you interview me, then it's gonna get better .
It's good. It's good. No, you don't look nervous at all. Okay, Hisham, stay safe and all the best.
Thank you. You too.
Okay, Assalamualaikum.
Okay, Waalaikumsalam.